If you normally draw your eyes like this but you want them to be more realistic, keep watching. Draw the top lash line first, then blend it out downwards. Only draw the outer half of the bottom lash line. Use a semicircle instead of a full circle. Add shading to the top section. Erase for highlights, and draw the crease and blend it.
Welcome to my basic tutorial on how to draw an eye part 2. Before we start, you need to practice on how to control your hands so you won't crash and burn like always. Outline the first layer of your problems. Then, shade the darkest part of your childhood memories to find out what happened. Shade the pupil and finally confront your demons, but don't let it take over you. Then shade the lower lids to smoothen your recovery. Emphasize the double eyelid by listing everything that is wrong with you from all angles. End result, my eyeshadow is edgier. Don't be shy to show off your under eyes. Add some eyelashes and draw one line at a time because recovery takes time, but it will be all beautiful and worth it at the end.
So here is my approach to drawing eyes. I plan the orientation of the head first. Then I draw both eyes at once to avoid the other eye problem. Since I am not a clown, I apply the same idea to the eyebrows. Then do all the other deets, leaving pupils for last as finishing touches.
A lot of you guys wanted an eye tutorial, so here it is. I always start off with an almond shape and define those edges, make them sharp, make them a little swooshy, and then I go in and I define the oval shape that I already did by making it a little wider, and I go on top and do the eyelid, simple arch, and bottom arch for the eye bag. And sometimes I draw an eyebrow, sometimes I don't. This time I did, but this is the most important part. You see, you think of the eye as in 4 corners, and in each corner it gets its own direction of eyelash, and you follow that for the corners. And there you go, perfect eyelashes. Then of course you draw a pupil, and then the highlights. Highlights are very important. They bring the eye to life. They can be all different shapes and sizes. It really does not matter. And of course you hit the eye with some shading. If you have this basic outline, add shading and it instantly comes to life. Look at that. Beautiful.
How to draw eyeballs, right? The big question that everyone's been asking me. So, I'm gonna teach you how in my style. So this is how I draw my eyes. Change it up, do your own thing, put your own twist onto it, alright? So, for my characters, I like to draw a straight line first for their eyes, just because most of my characters are very serious. After this, we do the little corner of your eyeballs, right? Make that nice and dark. Add your swoosh, you know, the swoosh underneath. You know, just add it in. The more narrow you make it, the more sinister your character looks. Add another line. Make the corner. Draw in your lower lash line. Add in the lower lashes. Draw a half circle for the eye. This is the part that makes my style. I fill in the whites of the eyes and turn them black, like so. And for the middle, the little pupil, you do whatever you want. I'm just going to do a dot for simplicity. And that's it.
Hi, my name is Faith, and I'm going to show you a really easy way to draw brown eyes. Color the middle of the eye black. Take your darkest brown shade and make a ring around the eye. With the same pencil, make little marks dragging inward. Around the eye, make these little circles. Take a medium dark shade and go around the circle. Put some white in this section of the eye for shine. Take a reddish brown shade and color around the whole eye. Grab a yellow and color where it's light. Take your medium dark shade and drag outwards. Go back to yellow and recolor the light parts. Do this in a circular motion. Grab your white and repeat. Make white lines going in a circle and dark ones going in the same circle. Make little specks of white all around the eye. Grab a white gel pen and add shine. Once you're finished with highlights, do your eyelashes and then you're done.
Hi, here's part 1 on colouring an eye using this reference. I started with a pencil sketch and taped the edges using washi tape. Then, looking at my reference, I started to colour the marker base of the iris. I used a combination of dark greys, greens and yellows. Then, using a sharp pencil, I started to layer the greys on the edge of the iris, marking out the details. Bye!
Here is a quick speed paint on how I approach eyes. Laying down a quick sketch. I start off laying some basic shadows and highlights, and then going in with more detail to get a semi-realistic feel. All I'm using for this entire process is a random oil brush that came with PS. I use a larger brush size during the beginning so I can make sure I don't get too lost in painting every single detail. It forces you to make more confident strokes. If you are having trouble, please use a reference. You can't draw from imagination if you aren't completely sure what the thing you are drawing looks like.
This is not a tutorial. Sketch down your basic eye shape. For pencil, shade, then blend. Add your darker values around the eyes and near the nose, bridge, and then blend again. Now I'm highlighting wherever it needs to be highlighted, and I keep repeating that and then blending, and then I'm darkening some areas. I don't know what that is. I'm really bad at explaining. Again, I'm not a professional. I keep adding the values that I lose through blending multiple times, but then I blend them too because I like them soft. Then I add a wash of watercolor, which is my favorite part. What you're gonna see next is basically me repeating the first couple of steps to achieve the desired look and highlighting using a gel pen only when necessary, really. I like to use the little eraser for most of the highlighting because it's really soft, and eyebrows are important, so please add those. Keep your blending stumps clean, otherwise it's all gonna be muddy. Bye!
Here are some tips on how you can draw a realistic eye with a pencil. Draw the outline of the eye and then inside create shadows. You can do this by lightly shading with your pencil, then blending it out with a Q-tip. Add some more shadows to the outer half of the waterline. Erase a thin line on top of that to create a realistic waterline. The iris, use a semicircle. You can use an eraser to create a highlight in the middle. You can even add reflections in the highlight. Then keep gradually adding more shadows. Then draw your eyelashes, and there you have it, a realistic eye.
Drawing realistically is not as hard as it may look. Start out with a sketch and a base shade, and for an example, I'm just gonna zoom into the eyelid, and I'm just gonna replicate exactly what I see right there. Normally there's a transition between lighter and darker shades, so make sure that you include that. And if you can do that, you can move on to more complex levels. So what I'm doing right now is just putting down the darkest shadows that I see on the actual image and then erasing the lightest parts. You can use a cotton ball or a tissue to blend, it really doesn't matter. There's definitely billions of methods to use, but I just choose this one because it's the fastest and it helps me learn a lot. Now this is just a tutorial. I stopped at like a semi-realistic phase. I didn't go way too into it because I didn't really feel like it, but you can definitely just keep going over and over and over again until it looks right. With this method, there is no end. You can just keep going forever.
How to draw an eye for someone who's never even picked up a pencil. Trace around a bottle cap just like this, then press down very hard and make another circle in the middle. It doesn't need to be perfect. Now make a square or a rectangle for the highlight. Now the eye is darker near the top, so start coloring pretty dark at the top and then right about halfway start getting lighter. Shading is a pretty important thing, so start on a different piece of paper and practice from getting dark to light. Just loosen your hand a little bit. Just really lightly shade this part. Then you can use toilet paper to blend it all out. And now you have this. Start making these little things. I don't even know. For that part, I'm just going up and down like this. And then for this part, just kind of like go out whenever you want. I don't know. Then connect some of them like in the middle or just outside pieces. Then using your eraser, just start making some more lines. This is what we have so far. Now like for part 2.
Here's how to draw eyes from multiple angles. First, never forget the eye is a 3D shape within a concave other shape called the eye socket. Make sure the eye looks like it's sticking out of the socket. Eyelashes start on a layer of skin right below the bottom of the eye, not the bottom of the eye itself. When drawing eyes from a side or top angle, don't forget that the eye socket is there to guide you. Another useful thing to try is to think of the top eyelid as a hood that covers over the bottom eyelid. If you're drawing an eye with a very visible eyelid like this, make sure that this part is a continuation of the curve of the eyeball. Drawing an eye from below may seem challenging, but just remember the shape rules. Remember that because the eye socket is concave, you can see more of this area when looking from below. An eye seen from above will have the same effect but more extreme, as the brow ridge partially encapsulates the eye.
Here's a basic way to color an iris for beginners. Start by tracing something round. I'm using washi tape because a bottle cap is a little bit too small for this, but you can easily trace a jar as well. Draw a circle in the middle, and then lighten the sketch by erasing it a little bit. Get 3 different shades of a color and then a white pencil. I'm going to be using Prismacolor Premier pencils. Starting with your darkest color, go ahead and color the outline of the eye, like this. Get your second lightest color and start doing this. Just scribble it out like that. And now it should look something like this. Get your darkest color again and start filling in the gaps. Now you have this. Using your lightest shade, go ahead and color on top of all of this. Go ahead and outline the pupil. Then go around with white. And now you have the base of your eye. To blend, press down really hard with your dark color on these sections. Then go over all of it, pressing really hard with your second darkest color. And it should blend just like that. Now you can blend your lighter color in by going out like this. Do that same motion with your white pencil, then do that same out motion in the bottom of your eye. Add highlights and now you have this. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey, my name is Jack. I'm a concept artist for Epic Games, and today I'm showing how anybody can paint cartoon eyes. First, make sure you have a delicious sketch. Next, fill in the iris and the whites of the eye with the color of your choice. Select a soft airbrush and use a darker color to paint in the form shadows. Now just dial in that zesty pupil, and using the selection tool we're going to create a shadow underneath the eyelash. Choose a dark blue color, drag it in there, and set it to multiply. Lower the opacity for the perfect effect. Next, go through with the lighter color at the bottom of the eye to paint in the highlights. Add a white reflection and cut in shapes. This will make the eye shiny and add reflection. Did this help? Follow and let me know.
How to draw a realistic eye in 60 seconds. Draw a circle. Draw parentheses around the circle. Draw a curved line. This is how you will connect both lines. This is how to connect the lines on the left side. Add the hood on top. Draw a harsher line. Draw straight lines. Shade. Draw hooks. Done.